Good morning, everybody. It's Dina Mitchell, and we're talking today with Dan Walkovitz about the Scars to Stars book launch that's going to happen on February 22nd. And we have 20 authors that have told very personal stories through their chapter about overcoming adversity, and it's all different stories. So there's um, so many lessons throughout the book. So, Dan, I would like you to tell the audience what just a little bit about what your chapter is. What did you write about?
Happy to do that, Dina. A colleague of mine quoted someone who I think's named Alan Kay recently to me. Alan said that you can add 80 points to your IQ if you open up your point of view. This chapter reminds me of that. It deals with financial trauma, certainly nothing like many of the other authors dealt with, but a period of many years where financially I was not doing well at all. And I believe that my family had suffered and had a situation with my mother and my family that prompted me to completely rethink that experience. And once again, it's a matter of point of view. Truly, it had been difficult financially, very difficult for me and the family, but it's all in your point of view. And that's what I talk about in my chapter.
Yeah, it's as some of you may know or may not know that Dan and I are both entrepreneurs and we've both had several businesses, and we talk a lot about business when we get together. And I think it's crucial that entrepreneurs um, do look at their self care and their self worth, and their delegation of duties and all of those things to keep themselves sane and as productive as they can be. And I think I've definitely learned that lesson the hard way. And I had a financial year like that in 2019 that we've talked about, and I can completely relate. But sometimes it's our own mental state, or not taking care of ourselves or not getting enough sleep that gets us in those situations. So I just wanted to mention that because I think it's so important.
I agree. I think it's very important. All of those things are vitally important. The chapter, I named the title of the chapter I took from a book that I love. It's called The Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. And the first line, maybe one of the best lines ever written, it is, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." And that's the title of my chapter because I do believe that stepping back and realizing while you're going through it what is really going on and taking care of yourself is vital. It's
Mhm.
also important to keep perspective while you're going through it because it may be different than your one perspective makes it seem. And you must take a moment to reflect on, well, maybe there's another point of view.
Mhm. That's very true. So would you share a little bit about your journey with this project with our audience so they can get a little more glimpse of, a lot of us in this book are not have not written things before, and I think it was a very personal journey for most of the people involved. So,
I've loved being a part of this. Frankly, I'm honored that you asked me to be a part of it. I've gotten to know many of the authors, at least a little bit. Certainly know Dina pretty well. And I, I'm humbled to be in this book because the kinds of traumas and difficult times that many others in the book had are far more life threatening than mine was. There were times when I got close to wondering, not because it really spent any time in my mind, but the thought of suicide passed my mind. It's done more than pass the mind of many of the people who've authored these chapters. And the incredible thing is it didn't stop them. Obviously, it did not happen, but they've learned to grow in a variety of different ways from that experience. and to pull themselves out of it. Many speak of still having difficult times and it's a day by day, but they're here, thank God, and they're able to express their perseverance, their willingness to look those kinds of traumas in the eye and say, no, 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 not for me. There's a lesson in every one of these chapters that we all need to pay attention to. And I frankly am as excited about having the opportunity to read fully all of the other chapters as I am about being pleased to be able to share mine. I think mine offers a life lesson as well, and I presume that's why I'm a part of this. But it's been so far one of the best experiences ever. And Dina, I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Well, I thank you for being a part of it and for being a part of many things going on in my life. And you've been the voice of reason in many situations. And I think sometimes it's hard to see past our own thoughts or vision. And I think that's what all of us in this project are doing for each other, because a lot of people, you kind of get um, lost in whatever's going on for you, in your own world. And sometimes having a group of people like this that can help you see past some of the things you can see yourself is world changing, in my opinion.
For sure. For sure.
Well, I really appreciate you having this conversation with me. And I want to let our listeners know that we will have a book launch event on February 22nd. And there is an Eventbrite link that will be below this video. So you can sign up and join us if you'd like. And also, just to note that all of the proceeds from this book are going to go to fund the Realize Foundation, which is all about suicide prevention. So we have decided that conversation and community are what help people get through these hard times in their lives. And that's what this book is all about, is to relate to someone that maybe talks about something similar to what you've been through, and how we can help people through what they're going through with our personal stories and the community. Because there's so many organizations out there trying to prevent suicide, but the numbers have been growing for decades. So what we're doing is not working, and we're trying to take a different approach. So that's where the proceeds for this book will go. And Dan is actually on our board. So we're really excited about the next couple years ahead and what we're going to create through the Realize Foundation. So thank you so much for listening and for being here. And thank you, Dan, for having this conversation with me. And I'm going to put up a graphic for the book launch right now so you can see the details. And then again, like I said, I'll add the Eventbrite link below the video. So we hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.